It seems as though it's fairly unprecedented for a president to be going after the head of the Fed in the way that he has. What is it that strikes you the most about his comments over the course of the past couple of months?
Look, what strikes me the most is the fact that, first of all, it is not just fairly unprecedented, it's completely unprecedented. We've never had a president do this kind of thing with someone he put in the job, but also under these conditions where, the macroeconomic conditions right now are pretty great. And I mean, he wants to see a, more accommodative monetary policy. It's hard to say that monetary policy is not accommodative when you look at the 10-year at 2%. But he talks about it in terms of the way he's always measured the economy in his way, which is what's the stock market doing? And, he said in one of those clips, that the stock market would be, the Dow would be 5,000 or 10,000 points higher. That's how he measures it. He would love to see the Fed goose the market. It's hard to say, though, that we need it. Inflation's very low. Job growth, again, strong. I think that, Jay Powell's going to have a challenge this week in communicating the Fed's intentions on outlook and interest rates, despite what the president is shouting at him from the round office.
So Tony, I mean, you're a Politico, and you were certainly one in your former life. Is it fair to say that Jay Powell has become as apolitical as he can be, given what's going on right now with President Trump?
Yeah, no question about it. Look, I mean, he is trying hard and being, very, very consistent in his comments at the FOMC pressers and in previous testimony. And I think we'll see it again on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, that he's going to be data dependent, that the FOMC is really, really focused on what output is looking for the economy, what interest rates are doing. He may do some educating on the target rate and what it means and what inflation expectations means. It's an opportunity for him to teach a little bit, but he's trying to be completely apolitical here and show that they're going to do it based on what they're seeing in the economy, not what they're hearing from politics, and that's the right way to do it. And we had Art Laffer on yesterday, who says he thinks the Fed should not be independent and should be focused by politics. That is not a view that's widely shared on a well-functioning central bank in the world today.
Your former life was all about political communication. Much of your current life is about advising clients about communications issues as well. What exactly would Fed Chair Jay Powell be looking to expect from the people who will likely grill him in Congress? What topics become the hot button issues that the Fed will have to face in front of Congress?
Yeah, right. Communicating monetary policy, it's on its own, right, is very, very difficult. It's it's a challenge to talk about what they mean by inflation expectations and why the target rate is meaningful for the FOMC. Those are difficult challenges in normal times. What he's going to end up having to do, though, is explain how they're doing their job in the face of criticism in the Fed. And I'll say, look, I know a lot of members of the FOMC. These are people who really are, focused on their jobs. They're trying to do it and not be responsive just to what they're hearing from shouts from any corner, not just the White House. But that's not broadly shared right now. There are people on the margins, in market participants, and I see it when I'm in New York. People who think that the Fed is going to, is to some degree being led by the bully pulpit shouting from the White House. That's not a great place for the Fed to be. I know Chairman Powell is going to try to be as consistent with his previous comments as he can, but it's not an easy job he has.